Guys, let's give a round of applause to Russ and Steven. Hopefully, you guys have learned a few things. I'm sure you have, whether you know it or not. We're going to do some questions and answers. So, because we're working on our communication, when you ask a question, you have to stand up and hold your gaze up high and look at Russ.
So you're going to have a lag. I can't do anything about the lag, so it's going to be like 30 seconds behind. Sorry.
Mr. Williams, can we get the sound cut out?
Yeah, cut the sound out would be good.
When you stand up to ask your question, you need to use your nice, confident voice.
All right, and the other thing, while you guys are
Addy mode.
looks good.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Wait for that sound to go off. Yeah, it says we tell you to get the
We're also going to be, I'm going to be asking you at the end, and can I get your eyes on me for just a second? Bring your eyes down. My eyes are down here. I'm down here. Thank you. We're also going to be asking you to think about what good communication is. So if you think of something that happened today that you saw, that you said, oh, that was good communication, I understood that very well, or that got my attention, or I noticed that when Russ said this, he used his hands, or he used a prop, or we're studying that sort of like how to communicate effectively. We're going to practice that in our questions, and we're going to then talk about how that happened, how you saw that here in the presentation. So
And you can tell me if you like. If it's something I did you didn't like, because that'll make me a better presenter.
Exactly right. It's called constructive criticism. So, with those two things in mind, who wants to start off with the first question? I saw a hand here. Please stand. What's your name?
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane.
No question.
Okay, Keegan, you're up.
Okay, what's the advantages and disadvantages of what you do with drones?
So the advantage is you're able to, well, if you're talking about a manned perspective from the air, from an airplane, or a unmanned, like a drone like this, the advantage from that is you're getting a different view from up in the air instead of someone who's just taking a picture with an iPhone or a camera on the ground. So first of all, you're getting a different view up at the top. And the advantage between a drone or a manned aircraft is that you can get closer to whatever you're trying to film. So an airplane can only get, I think it's 1,000 feet off the ground. It has to be that's the limit that it can get to the ground. This you can get, as I lift it up in the air and show you guys in a few minutes, I can get as close as I want to whatever I'm recording. So that's the advantage with a drone, is that I can manually, I have control of what I'm shooting and what I'm videoing, and it's also just closer to everything than an airplane would be. And it's also higher than a photographer on the ground would be. So it's right in between that photographer and that airplane view, and there's so much you can do with it.
Thank you, Dean. We're going to hold your applause. You guys are really ambitious. I love it. But it takes a little bit of time. Next question. Please stand and tell us your name.
Too loud.
My name is Ashley, and I thought
Take off.
So what's your question?
so are these going
So that comes into, you're talking about privacy issues, right? And that's a big concern. So drones, it's different than what you guys see in the movies, right now anyway. In the movies, they make it seem like I can look from 30,000 feet up, I can look down to read what's on your shirt from inside your house. That's not possible right now. Most people have the misconception that if I'm flying a drone, we've actually been confronted on sites where people have been hostile towards us because we're flying a drone. They think that we're impinging on their privacy, like we're looking in the window, they think we're seeing something we're not supposed to be seeing. While that can be an issue, if I'm more than 20 feet away with this drone, you can make me out in some respects, but you can't make out really fine detail. And the technology is just not that good. So if I'm out on a job site flying around a home for like making those videos like you saw, I mean, think about that one that we made where you saw the car. How big was that car? This big. I couldn't even make out the license plate without it. Now, I will tell you, there's military applications that can do that. Yeah. So I mean, there's that potential, but that's all controlled. There's authorities and all permissions and all that stuff. But for commercial stuff, no, you don't. It doesn't have the ability to get down and you know, pick your lead like that. But it is an issue. You got to be careful what you film, what you don't film. Privacy rights. People, you have to respect people's right not to be filmed.
Next question. Blue shirt. Please stand and tell us your name.
You want me to lift this off? It's gonna be really loud.
No, just leave it
Just
down
wait.
for now.
Just wait till the end.
You can cut it. Sorry. So there's been, if you Google drone crashes, drone incidents, there's a lot. I think DJI estimated they sold over 600,000 drones in the United States last year alone. Imagine that. That's 600,000 will be one flying around. In New York, I think last year, they had a little crash helicopter that was responding to an emergency. They had one that flew into a Southwest airliner at 2,500 feet not too long ago, ripped a piece of the wing off. They had one that crashed into a Black Hawk. Actually, the Black Hawk went down. That was in Alabama, I think, it was a training site. So there has been a lot of those accidents. And there's also been problems where a drone, where the one motor would quit or a prop would break, and it'll hit somebody on the ground. That happens too.
So yeah, that's a tricky scenario with safety.
Keep it running.
Back shirt. Yes.
Keep it on, just don't keep the props going. Keep the video feed up. Put it up here.
My question is, so when I was doing research on that project, they said that drones were banned in military areas where they do training. So somewhere in your presentation, I believe in the beginning slide, you said that drones were used in military.
So you have, there's two different broad uses for drones. Military applications. Again, that's what you see in movies, you see drones flying around in the news, blowing stuff up, that kind of stuff. Those are allowed to fly on military bases because they're part of the military. It's called public use. On the flip side of that, you have commercial operations like us. So as you can imagine, they don't want anybody with a drone from Walmart to go fly into that training base or that training airspace or whatever the military is doing to impede those guys or potentially get shot down and all that other stuff. So that's why they're restricted from just normal people like us.
Yeah, there's to maybe piggyback or have you elaborate. The Federal Aviation Administration is the agency who's in charge of air, of things in the air, and they have mountains and mountains of rules that they're developing and testing and responding to. That the same way you don't drive your car on the wrong side of the street, you don't drive your drone in restricted airspace. It's that sort of situation.
Yeah, and the military has a different, the FAA has the playbook for commercial and just if you want to go fly. The military's got a whole different playbook, and that's why there's restricted areas.
Oh man, we have lots of questions. In the back, in the red shirt, please stand.
So,
What's your name?
my name's Abrielle.
Hi, Abrielle.
So, since drones are being used more likely now in time, do you think that drones will overcome people who want to fly? Like when people, you know how people want to fly like airplane stuff, do you think that it will overcome them? Like people will be banned to fly instead of drones, using drones and stuff?
So I've been flying, like I told you before, I've been flying for close to 20 years. I've got my airline transport pilot's license, so I can fly for the airlines if I wanted to. But I know just the cost, the low cost of replacing pilots, I know we're going to be gone in 10, 15 years. You guys will see this. You will see this when you guys get a little bit older, once everybody's more comfortable with it. Airlines will not be flown by pilots. You're just going to see it. It's going to happen. We're doing it now in the military. They're doing it now on some other commercial aspects that don't involve people. Once the civilian population as a whole is comfortable with getting in a plane that doesn't have a pilot, that'll happen. I think it's going to start with cars. Cars will be the first thing you guys will get into. You guys will see this. You're going to get into a car, you're not going to drive, it's going to drive itself. That'll be the first move into the airlines using pilots.
This young lady's been very patient with her hand.
Oh,
Stand next to her. What's your name?
Milani.
Alani?
Has the state or the local laws ever prevent y'all from using them?
Yes, all the time. So that's part of the thing that Keegan was talking about, where you have to, one of the things we gotta do when we go to a house or a building or a site where we gotta do shots and do a job, is we've gotta assess not only the federal laws, we gotta look at the state, the city, local, any other thing, you know, like state parks. You can't fly in state parks unless you talk to the guys that control that state park. Federal parks, you can't fly unless you, again, coordinate with DC to be able to fly. So yeah, there's, like you said, the legal aspects of it, it makes it tough. It does.
My name is Heaven, and my question is, do you have to have any type of license to fly any type of drone?
So if you're doing like we do for hire, commercial, you have to have what's called a 107 license. It's a remote pilot license. If you're just gonna fly a drone you bought from a small one or a big one, or whatever, you just wanna do it for yourself, you just fly it around your house, then you don't need one. You got hobbyist rules that you do, but you don't need a license to do that. But yes, to do commercial operations, you need to have the 107. It's called the 107.
It's a great question. No, you.
My name is Emily, and I have a question for all three of you. In your opinion, which career best works with drones?
That's yours.
Mapping. So your best career path with a drone is most likely mapping and or surveying. They kind of tie in together. So what mapping is like we were looking at with the bridges, is that you'll take a drone, you'll fly over it a couple times, and you'll stitch them all together into one 3D image. That's mapping. Surveying, on the other end, is being able to coordinate over time a project that's going on with the drone. Be able to take pictures. We actually do hyperlapses. We do over about 6 months. We'll go out every week and we'll take a picture, an orbit of pictures, and we'll stitch them together. There's always a need for building, to be able to take pictures of people building. So there's always going to be architecture being built. So drones are always going to be able to be used for that, to take pictures, to take video, to do whatnot. And drones are going to take over the surveying and mapping industry now. You have guys out there with a tripod and a camera who are taking pictures, and that's going to get thrown out the window. You're going to have drones doing it now. So that's the new industry boom for drones, and that's where I would be heading that's where we're actually heading right now. So,
what I would tell you not to do is start a business. That's the toughest. It's great. It's fun. It's awesome. It's just very, very, just like any business. 5% of businesses succeed. I mean, it's tough. So I would look at kind of what Keegan's doing as a secondary career, and that's the way I would go.
I'm not a drones guy, but I do have an opinion because I'm an engineer. And that drone, those components, somebody designed them, figured out how to make them, figured out how to put them together, figured out how to make them work, figured out how to make them better, figured out how to sell it, figured out how to package it, figured out how to get it to you so that you can fly a drone. And so like the amount of like humans thinking and being creative and inventing things that went into those two pieces of equipment is actually, I don't know, 100 years in the making, something like that. But there are people who that's their job, is to
There's more technology. There's more, man, you said it, man. I mean, it's, you can do more with this thing than the Blackhawks that I flew, than in any of the fixed wing that I've flown in my military career, any advanced aircraft that I've flown, the jets that I've flown. That's got more power in it and more tech and more cool gadgets and capability than any of those put together. It's amazing what these little guys can do.
and somebody designed it.
Yeah.
Right here in the blue.
My name is Kumani, and in the military, what type of drones do y'all use?
All kinds. So the big ones that you saw up on the screen, the primary ones right now are called MP9s, Predators, so research Predators for the most part. Those are the big fixed wing. They're probably from about little guy in blue all the way down to here, wingspan wise. All the way up to the Global Hawks, which fly from basically out of California and Las Vegas and Florida. They'll fly all the way across the globe, the other side of the globe, stay in location for a couple days and then come back home. To handheld ones called the Ravens. They're about this big. You put them in your backpack and you can throw them. They fly for about 15 minutes. So a lot of the military guys on the ground, the combat troops that you see on the ground, they'll launch those before they go into a house or go into a building or go into a community or village in the combat zone. And they will map out where to go, where not to go, find the bad guys using that little handheld drone. So yeah, it runs the gamut. Mostly all fixed wing in the military. They don't use quadcons all that much. The flip side of that is the bad guys are now using these. And actually, that was one of my last initiatives when I was in the military, was to figure out how to stop these things from hurting our guys. So yeah, they're across the board.
We're gonna do three more. You've been patiently waiting.
My name's Amar, and there's a lot of different types of drones. So how do you know which drone is right for what?
Research. Yeah, tons and tons of research. We picked our drones based on what we saw as the best markets, the most clients in our area. So that's why we picked the smaller ones with the cameras on. We have a couple other ones that are bigger that we're using to do inspection work and more of the industrial mapping stuff that Keegan was talking about. So yeah, it just takes a little bit of research to do, hey, I want to go shoot an MTV video. What kind of drone is going to be best for that? I want to go do power line inspections. What drone is best for that? And there's tons of manufacturers out there. I mean, like I said, it's all packaging engineering. So just a little bit of research and you can find which ones are best.
In the back, the black shirt.
My name is Courtney, and my question is, how does using drones help you in your business financially?
We couldn't have to do it without the drones. With what we do, so our business is, like Keegan said, putting cameras where a guy on the ground, you saw Keegan walk around with his camera. We want to put that camera 50 feet, 100 feet in the air. There's no other way to do it other than using drones. That's what our company provides, is to fill that gap. So yeah, with us, 90% of what we do is drones. We're starting to get into the ground photography a little bit more, but we wouldn't be here if we didn't have drones. So yeah.
What's the financial cost of that specific drone?
About $1,000 total kit. It means case, batteries, everything. About $1,800. It's getting cheaper. And think about it, it's like your phone, right? The next phone comes out 6 months later, that one drops down $200-300. So really, you can pick this drone up. You saw what, for $700? $600-700. So you saw that drone online. That's because we're already 3 generations away from that one already. We've only had that a couple years.
Yeah. Well, you're also looking at DJI. This is probably one of the top product manufacturers in the drone business right now. You can get other drones for a lot cheaper. They're not going to be as reliable, but this is why you pay top dollar for these kind of drones, because they're reliable, they last you longer, and they get you good data. So that's why they cost a little bit more.
That big one that you saw, we did the power line one. So we were talking about that big, huge black one with the 2 white things sitting on top of it. That runs about $15,000. That's our industrial drone that we use to do all of that more techy stuff.
How often do you replace those drones?
For these ones, we typically look at about a 1.5-year life cycle. So we're getting ready to upgrade out of these. And again, I don't like paying top dollar for stuff that just came off. So we do 2 generations removed. So we'll upgrade to the next one here probably this summer.
Young man in the green shirt, blue shirt.
Okay, my name is Aaron, and that drone right there, so it goes to a flying inside with it, and then you fly it outside, inside. Would it also interfere?
Yep, sure would. Just think about it, it's a Wi-Fi signal, right? So when you go, if you got like a week, let's say you're at your neighbor's house and you live next door, and you're connected to your Wi-Fi on your phone, right? And you walk over to your neighbor's house, you're probably not going to pick that Wi-Fi up from your house. You're going to pick up your buddy's house, right? It's the same thing with this. You put any kind of interference in between the controller and the drone, it's going to lose a connection. And that's the importance of that return to home that we talked about, where it automatic comes up, comes over, comes back down and lands. That's why that's there, because it's a limitation.
Guys, your questions that you all have, write them down on your piece of paper, and they're going to become part of your research.
Spin it up.
Thank you for being good sports and patient with that.
Addy mode.
The last little thing we want to do, and go ahead, Keaton.
All right.
Is
Take off.
You need to
Should get up there now, right there.
Don't get too close to the stage because I can already feel that down.
Yep. I'm gonna go get a picture from back
Bring
here.
it around the backside and bring it back and around. Don't worry about the picture.
I'll get a picture.
No, it's gonna be too much time. Just slide over there, bring it around, bring it back over here.
Literally right there.
Below point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Watch that. Go grab it. Yeah, can you grab that camera? Thank you. Should I get a video real quick of that?